Deepak sir, we are live now.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to this IPO webinar on Bajaj Housing Finance issue. After a long time, we have an IPO from a group which is known for its wealth creation ability for the investors. Last time, Bajaj Finance came out with an IPO in 1994. So after a gap of 30 years, we are having another IPO from the same group. So we and a chance to participate in that. Now, the Bajaj Group has been known to be consistent wealth creator for its investors. Bajaj Finance stock price has risen over 30 years at the rate of 23.2% CAGR. Its prices have grown almost 522 times since listing. But over the last 10 years, the situation is even better. Its stock price has risen by 41% CAGR. Price has risen 30 and a half times over this period, creating huge amount of wealth for investors. Now, having regard to the current market situation or conditions, one may not expect a similar kind of a bumper 30-40% CAGR return, but at the same time, expecting a decent uh, compounded growth in the stock price is something which I think you should be uh, uh, entitled to expect. Now, though the issue price is at a premium to the listed peers like LIC Housing Finance, PNB Housing Finance, Canfin Homes, etc., I think the growth, the discipline that it has shown, and the pedigree makes it deserving for this premium. Issue is opening today. More details my colleague Atul will give just in a minute. Probable listing date is about 16th of September. Issue size is 6,500 crores. 91,370 crores is the AUM. So now I will pass on the proceedings to Atul, who will take us through an interesting PPT. And then later on, if we have any question answers, then we will be glad to take them. Over to Atul.
Thank you, Deepak sir. So the Bajaj Group has hit the primary markets after over 3 decades with the IPO of Bajaj Housing Finance. So the mortgage lender is basically a wholly owned subsidiary of Bajaj Finance, which in itself is a subsidiary of Bajaj Finance. So this IPO has come as BHFL aims to comply with the RBI listing requirements. So BHFL is classified as an upper layer NBFC, and according to RBI norms, upper layer NBFCs have to get listed within 3 years of this list being formed. So that's the primary reason for coming out with this IPO. So the time frame was expiring next year, but the company thought fit to come out with an IPO now. So let's go through the details of the IPO.
Okay. Not able to share.
Sorry for the problem, it was muted. So Bajaj Group has come out with an IPO. It has hit the primary market after over 3 decades with the IPO of Bajaj Housing Finance. So the mortgage lender is primarily a subsidiary of Bajaj Finance, which in itself is a subsidiary of Bajaj Finserv. So this IPO has come as BHFL aims to comply with the Reserve Banks of India's listing requirement norms. So it has been classified as an upper layer NBFC, and according to the norms of the RBI, the companies have to get listed within 3 years of this list being formed. So the time frame was expiring next year, but the company thought it fit to come out with an IPO in the current market. So let's go through the details of the IPO. So the issue date is from 9 to 11 September. So today is 9th and the IPO is already open. So the probable listing date of the IPO is on 16th of September. The total issue size of the IPO is rupees 6,560 crores, of which Bajaj Finance would be offloading shares worth around 3,560 crores, and 3,000 crores would be fresh issue. Total number of shares on offer is 93.7 crores. This is around 11.25% of the post-issue capital, and the remaining 88.75% would still be held by Bajaj Finance. The price band for the IPO is rupees 66 to 70. The lot size is 214 shares and in multiples thereof. The book value of the company post the IPO would be rupees 18.9. The capital of the company would increase from around 7,820 crores to 8,328 crores. And we have some very renowned names as book running lead managers like Kotak Mahindra, Bank of America Securities, GM Financial, Goldman Sachs, SBI Capital, Axis Capital, and IIFL Securities.
Sharing. PPT sharing.
Yeah, and so the listing would be on both the primary exchanges, BSE and NSE. So let's go through the reservations of the total size. Around 3%, that is rupees 200 crores, is reserved for employees. The maximum amount an employee can bid is rupees 5 lakhs. And then comes the reservation for shareholders, which is around rupees 500 crores. That is around 7.6% of the total issue. So the shareholders of Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv both can apply in the shareholder category as well as the retail category. So the maximum bid size would be rupees 2 lakh. Bajaj Finance has around 8 lakh shareholders, and Bajaj Finserv has around 7 lakh shareholders as of June 2024. So eliminating some common shareholders on an assumption basis, total shareholder base would be around rupees 10 lakhs. And then QIB would, the reservation for QIB is around 50% after excluding the employee and the shareholder reservation quota. Non-institutional bidders will get 15%, and retail shareholders will have 35%. That is around 29.3 crore shares. So if we see for minimum applications for fully subscribing in the shareholder quota, it would be 3.34 lakh application at a minimum application of 214 shares. If the shareholders go for a maximum application of 2 lakh rupees 2 lakh, so the shareholder quota would get full with 25,000 applications. In the retail category, we would require around 13.7 lakh applications at minimum application size. And for non-institutional holders, we will require 40,000 applications. So some of the competitive strengths of the company are, so it comes from the distinguished stable of the Bajaj Group, which enjoys a widespread recognition. It is a prominent Indian conglomerate known for its diverse business interests across various sectors. So as a wholly owned subsidiary of Bajaj Finance, it is well positioned to tap into the extensive experience in scaling financial markets. So BHFL is the second largest housing finance company in terms of AUM, with a strong track record. Its AUM as of June 2024 stood at around rupees 97,000 crores. So it has a very diverse omni-channel presence with a distribution network of 215 branches and around 1,780 active channel partners. So it is a very strong credit evaluation and risk management practices it has one of the best NPA levels among the housing finance companies. So, being a large company and a highly rated company, it has very diversified and cost-effective borrowing sources, and the management continuously optimizes its borrowing sources to get the best and the lowest borrowing rates. So the strategies the company wishes to follow to expand, to grow its business, it is looking to continuously leverage on technology to reduce its cost and improve its profitability. So it is looking to expand its network from current 215 branches and to reach a wider geographical presence. And as said earlier, it is looking continuously on the lookout to diversify its borrowing profile to get the lowest interest rate possible. So some of the risks faced by the company is, as with any lender, if it is unable to recover its lending value, so it has to face losses. So GNPA and NNPAs are the key ratios for lenders. And BHFL has one of the best NPA levels. Nevertheless, if it is unable to control it, if it rises significantly, then the company might have to face losses. Currently, the AUM of the company is highly concentrated in 4 states and New Delhi. So top 3 states account for around 70% of its AUM, and the top 5 accounts for around 86%. So since it's a lending business, so interest rate fluctuations would impact the company. If you look at the scope of the housing finance market in India, so the prime housing finance market where the company is largely concentrated, so it has grown by around 20% over the last 5 years. And according to CRIF, Highmark, and CRISIL research, it is expected to grow by 21 to 23% CAGR over the next 3 years to reach a level of around 21 trillion rupees. Similarly, the affordable housing market is expected to grow by 8 to 10% CAGR over the next 3 years. So if we compare BHFL to other listed housing finance companies like LIC Housing, PNB Housing, and Canfin Homes, so we see that the AUM of the company is second to LIC Housing. LIC Housing has an AUM of around 286,000 crores, and while Bajaj Housing has 91,000 crores. These figures are as of FY24. So, however, the company has better NIMs than LIC Housing and vastly superior NPA levels. So consequently, the company is likely to trade at a premium to other housing finance companies. Company has a yield of around 10.2% and a spread of 2.6%, which is similar to other companies. But the company has a high level of salaried employees, which reduces the risk of NPAs. And its average ticket size is around 46 lakhs as compared to 25 to 29 lakhs for its peers. So these are the key anchor investors of the company. So we can see there are some very renowned names like Capital Group of Canada, which has been allotted 4.8% of the anchor portion, Government of Singapore, Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. Among the domestic investors, 21 mutual funds have applied through a total of 43 schemes. So HDFC mutual fund was allotted 4.8%, ICICI, SBI, both of them also 4.8%, and then the other mutual funds around 2.7%.
Okay, thank you, Atul, for taking through the PPT in a very lucid way. I think most of the points of the IPO are covered in the PPT. Now, we will take some questions that we have received. So a lot of questions have come on the comparison of housing finance companies and their ratios. So I think that has already been covered in the PPT. There's no need to repeat that. Now, there's a question. 80% lending is to salaried class. Does it have an impact if recession comes in? So, typically, historically, I think salaried class is supposed to be the most disciplined in terms of repayment of mortgages. So, in that sense, if you have a higher proportion of salaried class, it is supposed to be good for your asset quality and for your NPA levels. Now, in case a very big recession comes in, then yes, then there could be some trouble in the repayment. But I think this will impact most housing finance and even most lenders, whether it is personal finance or different kind of lending that happens currently. So that is a event which in India, I think recessionary periods, even if they come, may not last for long. So that worry, although it cannot be ruled out, is not likely to come in the near future. Now, shareholders and retailers, you can apply in both. That has been mentioned even by Atul. So both of you can do two applications. But if you are shareholders of both, that is Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, then you will be able to apply only as one shareholder. You cannot have two shareholder applications because then it will get rejected. Then it will get treated as a multiple. So in each category, the merchant bankers will go by the PAN. So if you have two applications having the same PAN in the same category, then it is likely to be rejected. So even if you are shareholder in both the companies, you should apply only as a shareholder of one company, not as a shareholder of two companies. Uh, as a shareholder, you can apply for maximum of 2 lakh rupees.
Yes.
And
As
as
an
an
employee,
employee,
you
you
can
can
apply
apply
for
for
up
up
to
to
5
5
lakh
lakh
rupees.
rupees. Now, should we hold the share if allotted or sell for listing gains? Now it is up to each individual investors whether he wants to do that. Depends on his view about the market conditions from here. Typically, even if you sort of retain the shares, the shares may list at a good price. It may fall due to market conditions, but if you hold it over a medium term, then probably you will get the benefit of compounded returns. But at the same time, if you typically sell on allotments on all shares that are allotted to you immediately, then it is up to you. You can do that also. And then, in case the stock price falls below those prices, then you can think of buying it back from the market. There's no order booking in this company. Somebody's asked about what about order booking, because this is not a manufacturing or a service industry. It is a service industry in the sense on the finance side. So what is important to track is the AUM and the disbursals and the NIMs that the company earns. Book value of the share has already been discussed. Allotment in HNI category will be on pro rata. Yes, it will be on pro rata. As a retail, can I apply for rupees 12 lakhs? No, retail is only up to 2 lakhs. Above that, you will automatically become HNI, and within HNI also there is a small HNI and a big HNI. So 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs will be a small HNI, and 10 lakhs, about 10 lakhs will be a big HNI. So the duration again, somebody asked whether you should hold for 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. So something similar which I already mentioned, that it all depends on your expectation of the market levels and market movement. In case you feel the markets are fairly valued currently and are due for some correction, then probably the duration should be short. But if you think that you are able to withstand the volatility in the prices, stock prices, then probably you can continue to hold and expect for a good, decent CAGR return over time. Future planning like expansion of business. Basically, they are into only one business. They will do related businesses like insurance, broking, so bundled products they will continue to sell. So whatever is aligned to their current businesses, they will continue to look at that and try to exploit that. Allotment will be on lottery basis or proportionate basis. So typically, if it is oversubscribed, then it will be on lottery basis. If it is undersubscribed, it will be on proportionate basis. Would you recommend it to buy today? So whether you apply today or on 11th, there is no difference. There is no sort of preference, as it were. Is retail quota better than HNI category? Difficult to say at this point of time. But in HNI quota, you will get a bigger allotment. In retail, you will get allotment up to rupees 50,000, 15,000 rupees only. So if you have if you can spare money, if you have money in your account, so in SBI you don't have to sort of move out the money, then you can probably go for an HNI category. Will other HFC shares likely see re-rating after the listing of Bajaj Housing Finance? Not really, because those companies are valued at a particular price based on whatever is publicly known about them. Now, Bajaj Finance, the parent of this company, is already listed. It is listed. It quotes at a premium to most NBFCs. So just because Bajaj Finance gets a good, it's a premium valuation, it doesn't mean the other NBFCs will also get a premium valuation. There will be some minor upmove in the prices of HFCs, which may not be lasting, which we have already seen that happening over the last 1 or 2 weeks since the announcement of the dates. I haven't got allotment in the past few IPOs. So now, see, a lot of people are applying IPOs. So you will have to keep trying. You'll have to keep trying your luck. Only then, if your luck turns around, you will start getting IPOs. How to know the subscription level? Now, subscription level, you can track it from various websites. Chittorgarh.com is one of the website. The investment bankers and the BSE NSE website also provides live subscription levels. You can go there and look at the subscription level from time to time. Is it worth paying such a premium for the price? Again, it depends on you, whether you would like to take a bet on the group and its pedigree and its growth and discipline and pay a premium, or whether you want to sort of stay out, feeling that it is at a premium valuation. It all depends on you. Now, going by the past track record, I think the group has made a good amount of wealth for investors. So you can take a chance even here. But it all depends on your view about the market, how much you should apply, whether you should continue to hold or whether you should exit. It all depends on that. I think we have covered most of the questions which have come in. Can those who apply in shareholders category apply in general category also as retail agent? Yes, you can. If so, can the combined value in shareholder and general category for retail category can exceed the respective limits? Yeah, so in shareholders, there is a limit of 2 lakhs. So you cannot go above that. But in general, you can apply for as much as you want. You can go in the retail category, you can go into HNI category, whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. Now, is it better to apply in retail or in shareholder category? So now we expect about 50 lakh applications to come in. That is the general market expectation in this IPO. And now, how many out of the shareholders quota, how many will apply and to what extent? So whether people will apply for 15,000, 50,000, or 2 lakhs, that is not known at this point of time. So broadly, I think applying in the share, if you have money, then you should apply for both. If you don't, if you have less money, then your uh, priority should be first, I think, in the shareholder quota and then in the general quota. So again, PAN, as I discussed earlier, the investment banker will go by PAN in each categories. So ensure that you don't apply with two same PAN in more than one application in the same category. If you do that, it is likely to get rejected. Impact of rate cuts in the next 2-3 years in India on Bajaj Housing Finance. So now here rate cuts will sort of lead to a reduction in their yield. It will also lead to a reduction in their cost of funds. Now, the cost of funds will go down a little slower than the cost of lending. So, in that sense, in case of aggressive rate cuts, the NIMs may sort of fall a little, at least temporarily, but that will get compensated by volume. So, if the rate cuts happen, then more and more people will start borrowing and buying houses or take loan against property and such like. So, your fall in NIMs may get compensated by higher volumes. Now, the company also faces competition from banks, but banks do a number of different kind of lending, so they're not specialized into only mortgage finance. So the advantage the housing finance companies have is that they are focused mainly on this kind of lending. So they have processes which are faster. They can delight the customer by having a very fast process rather than sort of putting the customers in a loop. So that is why housing finance companies continue to do well, despite the fact that their cost of funds is higher than that of the banks. Awas Housing Finance is into this different category, so they are into affordable housing. So it's not strictly comparable with Bajaj Housing Finance. The average lending amount in Bajaj Finance is higher than that of even LIC and PNB and CanFin. So it is much higher than Awas. So it's not strictly comparable. Now, going forward, whether Bajaj will also go into affordable, we don't know at this point of time. But if it sees opportunity there, then it may even venture into affordable housing. Yeah, so I think we have covered almost all the questions. So, in case you have any other questions, you can write to us or talk to our relationship manager, and they can also uh, guide you and try and answer your queries. We hope that you have a good time attending this webinar. Apologies for the initial technical glitch, but overall we have tried to sort of bring out to you the positives and the concern areas of the IPO and the modalities and practicalities of the IPO application. Thank you so much for joining us. Moderator, can we close the webinar?